Do you want more money so that you can feel financially secure? Do you want more money so that you no longer have to feel financial insecurity? If that is the case, this is one of the primary things blocking you from allowing currency to flow through in the form of ideas and actions and coincidences and synchronicities to actually experience a more prosperous, abundant, and wealthier life. Your brain is a goal-achieving machine. So if you believe money's hard to make because that's what you observed with your parents, and it may have not even been true. It wasn't that money was hard to make. It's just that your parents didn't understand how money worked. Your parents also had these programs of feeling not good enough. And so your parents got swept up within the great masses of everyone of living in this dysfunction called poverty, even though abundance and prosperity is our birthright. They didn't understand how money worked, and so they experienced a lack of it, right? It wasn't really that money was hard to make, but that might have been the meaning you gave the experience. And so now as an adult, or you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, your human being operating system is being driven by what you believe. And so, if you're 40 years old in your career or your business and you believe money's hard to make, you're going to have thoughts on a moment by moment basis that are in alignment with money being hard to make. You're not going to have thoughts around making money easily. You're not going to have a thought like I did, which was, I've decided that I'm going to make $60,000 by the end of the year from a source that's not related to my business. And wow, magically that happens. You won't have those ideas. You won't have those thoughts because you think just like you believe. And as you're having thoughts around money being hard to make, you're experiencing those thoughts as emotions. So you're experiencing financial stress, financial anxiety, financial overwhelm, financial worry. Your emotions, or how you feel, they dictate the actions that you take. So you're not going to be motivated to go out and discover opportunities to create wealth and abundance for yourself. And you're not going to be available for those opportunities to show up coincidentally and synchronistically, right? Because you're going to be in this emotional primal state of being that's actually conducive to perpetuating financial scarcity, right? I mean, do you think you're going to make more money if you're feeling motivated and inspired and excited and you believe money's easy to make? Or are you more likely to make money if you're feeling stressed and anxious and overwhelmed and financially insecure? And so this belief that money's hard to make is determining how you think, it's determining how you feel, it's determining what actions you do or do not take, and then that produces the results. So you're not open and available or thinking about how you could make more money, or performing at a level at work and being open to asking your employer to give you a raise, or looking for another job because you know that you're worth it and you know that you're deserving, or making the strategic decisions in your business that are going to lead to generating more clients and more income. The result is you're going to maintain financial scarcity and financial insecurity, and then that's going to reinforce the core belief. Oh, see, I knew it, money was hard to make. So it's not that money's hard to make. It's just that we operate according to the psycho-cybernetic loop. Whatever you believe, you think, whatever you think, you feel, whatever you feel, you do, whatever you do is the result you produce, and the results reinforce the belief that actually originated them. And so if we want to break this pattern of financial insecurity and open ourselves up to wealth and abundance and prosperity, not only do we have to understand what I previously explained, which was that currency flows through us as a catalyst when we're a vehicle for growth, expansion, joy, and evolution, right? Not to get us out of financial insecurity. Money doesn't flow to us for that. And I'm going to explain more about that in a second. But number two, once we've opened the door, because we understand how currency works and we start envisioning our life and giving money a reason to flow to us, we have to take a look to see if there's some interference that we are injecting or resistance into the process. And those are our limiting beliefs around money. And how do we transform those limiting beliefs? I mean, we've got so many tools like the decision matrix or using the 2 states of being. If you've been into our work, if you've gone through the Mind Hack program, if you've attended the Powerful Living experience, or if you've just listened to enough of our podcast episodes, you hear that, transforming these money beliefs is not a difficult thing to do, nor is identifying them, but it's the work that has to be done. So you have to remove these blocks and realize that these programs that you adopted, right, aren't true. They were somebody else's beliefs or meanings that you gave the experience, but they're becoming true for you because your brain is a goal-achieving machine and as a result of the way the 5 primary drivers works, right? So you start to make some new decisions, right? Money's not hard to make, right? Money flows to me. Money is my birthright. right? If others are capable of making money, I'm capable of making money. You use the decision matrix tool that we teach to start changing your brain and finding evidence to neurologically reinforce your new belief systems. You get in a practice and a fellowship with other people who are practicing this, and then you start to see your life change, and then that becomes part of the feedback process and the mechanism. You start getting evidence for your new belief. So you stop engaging with the old belief and you actually experience some brain change. The old neural networks that represent the old limiting beliefs start to prune out, and the new limiting beliefs start to form even deeper myelin connections in your brain, and you start to perceive life differently. You start to have thoughts around making more money. You start to perceive money-making opportunities. You've become a person with a transformed money consciousness, meaning you've become a wealthy person. First inside, then outside. Right? Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs start to realign with that of a wealthy, prosperous, abundant person. And then you give it time. There's a little bit of a gap between the person you become and then the evidence that shows up in your reality. But it will show up if you're willing to commit yourself and stay loyal to the beliefs that are aligned with abundance and prosperity, and you have a vision for your life that requires money to flow through you. One of the first events that I spoke at, I did a talk on the power of decision and our frameworks. And a young man come up to me and he said, man, I really appreciated your talk and the conversation that you had. And I've been in this personal development thing for a while, but the way that you broke it down really gave me access to it. And I just want to thank you. And I said, well, what is it you're up to in the world? And he said, I want to be a billionaire. And I said, can I encourage you into a slightly modified desire? He said, sure. I said, I recommend that you want or desire to discover something that creates $1 billion of value in the world for people. I said, that should be the desire. If you desire to create $1 billion of value in the world, you'll become a billionaire. But the ideas, the businesses that create $1 billion of value, the ideas and the thoughts are the cause. The effect is $1 billion in the bank account. So Jeff Bezos's vision for Amazon, it's what's allowed him to become a billionaire. Elon Musk's vision for what he wants to do in the world in terms of electric cars and solar and taking people into outer space and free speech on Twitter, that's what's allowed him. Money has sought out Elon Musk as an instrument for creation in the world because Elon Musk's vision requires that money. And so currency has flowed to him. So again, our vision and then removing the resistance. That's the key to creating an abundant life and a prosperous life. And that is the transformation of your money consciousness. When you rearrange and reorganize the beliefs, the thoughts, the emotions that you adopted at a very early age that are not congruent and in alignment with creating wealth in the world. Now, this third piece is really important to understand, okay? Because it is the sticking point and the misunderstanding that keeps the vast majority of people in the world stuck in less financial abundance and prosperity and wealth than is their birthright, right? Which is really an infinite amount of wealth. And it is this. It is a core limiting belief around money. And it is the desire to accumulate more wealth in order to not be financially insecure. Okay, it is the desire, and I want you to notice this. Do you want more money so that you can feel financially secure? Do you want more money so that you no longer have to feel financial insecurity? If that is the case, this is one of the primary things blocking you from allowing currency to flow through in the form of ideas and actions and coincidences and synchronicities to actually experience a more prosperous, abundant, and wealthier life. Here's why. There is a hidden limiting belief that we all have, almost all of us, that looks something like this. I don't have enough, or I didn't have enough, or I won't have enough in the future to be okay. There is a fear that we won't have enough to be okay. And we look at our own lives right now, and there's this sense of like, man, I'm barely making it. I don't have enough. Maybe we look into the past and we see that like there were times where things were tight and it was close and we didn't have enough. But most importantly, what I want you to be aware of is this fear that you have that you will not or might not have enough in the future. And so this fear is motivating you to want to create more financial prosperity so that you do not experience not having enough, not being okay, not being financially secure at some point in the near, medium, or long-term future. Here's the problem. The universe or reality or intelligence or the vibration or the force or love or whatever you want to call this matrix-like, highly intelligent system that we live in that corresponds to what it is that we think, has no awareness that you will not have enough because it always provides you enough. What I mean by that is this word enough is very cunning, baffling, and powerful. We have a fear, a deep-seated fear that if we don't have enough, we're going to die. But if you actually look at this, it's a limiting belief. If you look at the history of your life, have you always had enough? I'm not saying you've always had enough to buy what you want, a big screen TV, a television. I'm not even saying we've had people who have been to my seminars and my programs who have been homeless for periods of time. But they had enough. They had enough to survive. Life always took care of them. But there's this idea that the mind creates that if we don't have enough, we're going to die, right? I even know families who have been without homes for a period of time, but life provided them enough to survive and enough to get back on their feet. So what's really true when we look at this is that we have always had enough. We have always had enough. I want you to say this with me right now. I have always had enough. I want you to look at your life right now. Do you have enough right now? Again, this very cunning, baffling, and powerful word, enough. What does it really mean? Do you have enough right now? I mean, you've got enough to be listening to this podcast episode or listening on YouTube, wherever you're listening, right? You've got enough for that. I know that you might have some challenges going on in your life. I know that you might have some fears going on inside of you, right? I know that there are some changes that you might want to experience in what's going on in your life. But do you have enough right now? You okay right now? In this second, right here, right now, you got enough? Did you have enough yesterday? Did you have enough the day before? Do you think you'll have enough an hour from now? I want you to say with me right now, I have enough. I've always had enough, and I have enough right here, right now. And now I want you to say the third piece of this trifecta that will allow prosperity and abundance and finance and currency to flow through you. It is the statement, and I will always have enough. I've always had enough. I have enough, and I will always have enough. That's the truth. And you know that's the truth because it feels good. Like we talk about the two states of being. You can know whether or not something you're saying is resonant or dissonant, whether it's true or false based on how it feels. And the reason why these thoughts of I'm not going to have enough in the future, what if I don't have enough? What happens? My mortgage payment is due, my bills are due, my this or that. I know they've always been due. They've always been due. But the truth is, that's why it feels so bad, this idea that you're not going to have enough. Because the truth is, you've always had enough, you have enough right now, and you will always have enough. And once you ground yourself in that core belief, oh my God, watch how the spirit of currency begins to flow through you. When you release yourself of this mantra that you will not have enough, and living in the present moment where you have enough as if you don't, and moving into a primal state in fight or flight, where, by the way, you have no access to wealth-creating ideas. You'll miss the opportunities around you to make more money. You've closed the door on currency to flow through you. Not completely, because life has this amazing way of providing for you even when you're incredibly resistant to it, even when I'm incredibly resistant to it. Thank goodness. If you give up this idea that you're not going to have enough, now all of a sudden you put yourself in alignment with currency and with money, right? You desire money to create the vision that you have for your life, letting go of the old limiting beliefs around money, and letting go of this idea that you may not have enough by acknowledging that you've always had enough, no matter what your circumstance or situation is, that you have enough right now and that you will always have enough. This is the structure. This is the practice. This is the consciousness to be in. This is what began to allow me to open up more abundance in my life. Like the story I told at the beginning of this episode of deciding that I was going to make $60,000 from a source that was separate from my business without any idea of how by the end of the year. And then miraculously it happened because I didn't have resistance. I didn't have any limiting beliefs around it. And I wasn't embracing this idea or this desire to have money to get me out of this thing called financial insecurity, which doesn't even really exist because I've always been okay. I am okay. And I will always be okay. This is what has opened up the ideas, the strategies, the execution, the inspiration. It's what's attracted the community that has been the foundation of building this business that Carol and I have from $0 to $25 million in 7 years and becoming number Inc. 171 on the Inc. 500. We were available. We were in receivership of everything that was required in order to make that happen. So here's the good news. You don't have to become anything better. You don't have to, it's not that you're not good enough. You don't have to become a better person. It's not that there's not enough time. It's not that you have to develop some other skill. Maybe that'll be part of the natural process. You'll be inspired to acquire some more skills, and those skills will be leveraged for you in creating more financial prosperity and abundance for your life. You don't need to figure anything out. All you need to do is get in alignment with abundance and prosperity. Number one, have a vision that requires money and be excited about it. Number two, identify the limiting beliefs that you adopted from a very early age that are creating resistance for you because your brain is a goal-achieving machine, and transform those limiting beliefs through making new empowered decisions. And number three, become aware of the core money block that most people have. This relates back to number one. Rather than desiring money for something that is exciting and expansive and growth oriented, the vision you have for your life, most of us have some level of desire for more financial abundance and prosperity, which is coming from a misunderstanding, a belief that we don't have enough and that we're not going to have enough in the future. And you've got to see the truth that you've always been taken care of, because when you see that, you can ground yourself, you can move back into rest and relaxation, a powerful state of being, a place where abundance flows to you, and you can start attracting the next level of wealth, of ideas, of prosperity into your life. And again, this isn't some law of attraction seminar where I'm saying you just kumbaya money consciousness and a bunch of money shows up at your house, but you'll have the ideas and you'll start to take intelligent, inspired action, whether it's in your workplace or whether it's in your business or whether it's in the transition from the job you have into starting your own business, or whether it's through the investments that you make or investment opportunities or business opportunities that show up. You will start to align yourself with that, and life will start to bring those opportunities to you, and you'll look backwards and you'll say, hey, this was the path that unfolded for me in creating the next level of financial abundance in my life. Hey, it's David. Hop on over to davidbear.com. Click right here. There's also a link in the show notes, and sign up for our newsletter. You'll get immediate access to my free Mind Hack ebook, as well as a couple of trainings to help you master the inner game. This is a great way to stay informed and be a part of our community and be notified of special announcements. Click below, head on over to the website, get subscribed. If you loved this video, make sure you check out this one or this one, and I will see you in the next video.